I love Sound Attack. Thank you for distributing some of the best stuff.
Adam Marcello here, played drums for Katy Perry. Shout out to Sound Attack.
Thank you so much, Sound Attack. You guys are wonderful. You guys are great.
We're here with Ben from Two Door Cinema Club. Hello. Hi, I'm Nigel Powell. I play for Frank Turner and the Sleeping Souls. We're here at the Cambridge Corn Exchange for our sold-out show. The guys from Sound Attack have been nice enough to come down and check out my kit, and I'm going to show them around.
Nigel, just show us what kit you're playing.
It's an SJC, a company from Massachusetts who, I think when I first got involved with them, they were quite small, but they've expanded so rapidly now that they're really big stuff. I see them on like American TV shows and big people using them. And I've been very, very happy with them. I met the guys, they're really nice and they're kind of focused, really into drums. It's not like still not very corporate. The number of kits they get out, which are of amazing quality, it's incredible. I used to use Premier Janista, which are really nice birch drums. So I went for birch for the toms, and they're quite thin. They've got reinforcement rings in. A lot of this I was led by SJC. You know, I sent them a bunch of albums, like songs from albums that I liked, and said, I really like the way drums sound here. And they came back and said, well, we think that you would like this. And I went, okay. And they were right. Tom sizes, I go 10, 13, 16. I like them evenly spaced. I never understood kits which were 12, 13, 16, because you kind of go, bim, bim, boom. And musically, it kind of just get rid of the 12 or get something that's dealing with the slightly higher range. 22-inch kick, I used a 20 for a very long time, and then when we were doing the last album, we got a few different kick drums in to try out and settled on a 22 for that. It works either way for me. I like the 20-inch because it had that real kind of, it used to punch you in the chest, whereas this punches you in the lower stomach. I'd used wood hoops for a while. I had a Pearl 12-inch snare, which used to be my main snare, the Soprano 7-inch deep, and I got some of the Yamaha style wood hoops and put them on there. So when I ordered this one from SJC, which is a 14 by 6.5 maple, I said put some wood hoops on it. These are quite considerably wider than the ones I had on my other thing, which was interesting when I first got it. I couldn't find a snare drum stand that this would fit on because it's about 16.5 inches across. So I had to scrabble around and eventually found this Pearl stand, which has got arms that go out miles. But yeah, it's really nice. I've played Sabian for forever. It's the first time I got kind of serious cymbals, it was Sabian, and I have never used anything else. Over here, 21-inch raw HH Raw Bell Dry Ride. My favourite ride cymbal in the world is the Sabian AA 21-inch Dry Ride, which I still have, but it's out in America now with my American kit. But these are like, they're big and the bell's really fruity and kind of everywhere, and I can crash on the side of it, and I like that as well. So it's a great cymbal. Crashes, 18-inch AA Explosion. I used to have a 17-inch AA Explosion over here, but I just got this new one, the ISO Crash, which I think was part of their cymbal vote thing last year. It's nice. I was looking for something just a bit kind of quicker and also a little bit quieter, because I do a lot of recording as well, and certainly when recording, if you can get a well-balanced kit coming into the overheads, then you're 3/4 of the way there to having a really nice sound. On top of that, I've got the bottom of a pair of 7-inch Radio Nano hats, and then the top of that pair of Nano hats as well is just there, which also makes its own kind of ting, and they work nicely together as well. This is the bottom of a pair of 13-inch HH Fusion hats. I used this actually first as a ride back in 1998. I was making an album and I wanted a smaller ride sound, and I noticed this thing and stuck it on a stand. And I'm like, yeah, I like that. I've got the 10-inch Sabian cymbal disc over here. Again, I don't think they sell that one anymore. Yeah, unfortunately, that's off the roster. But it's kind of like a dinner bell, but it goes ting, so hell, I'll have it. 18-inch AAX Chinese. I think I chose this one by ear rather than knowing what it was, but always like a China over there. And over here, I don't know if it means the same thing in Canada as it does over here, but I've got a 12-inch chopper. The most recent addition is these. I don't know if they're secret in some way. It's a pair of prototype Sabian hi-hats. I went down to try a few out the other week with Jay down at Sabian, and even though I've only had them since the beginning of this tour, they're my guys straight away. They're nice pair of hats. The bottom is the most ridiculously heavy cymbal. No bell, flat, and just I can barely hold it up. It weighs so much, which I appreciate. 10-inch HHX Legacy Splash. Very nice. Again, I like the splashes quite dark as well, so that worked for that. So there you go. I use Evans heads throughout everything. The kick is an EMAD 2. I like kick heads quite heavily damped. I like that instead of bang. So yeah, I like that. It gives me roundness and power. Coated G2s on all of the toms. Again, with Frank Turner, it's keeping the toms a bit more on, you know, not the kind of clattering away. They've got that slightly 60s, you know, not exactly a blanket on the top of them, but you know, that kind of darker tone, and the G2s do that. I used to use a G2 coated on the snare as well, but recently I just tried the G14, which is the thicker one but single ply, and I'm never going back. I tell you, you can try and make me, but I'm not going back. It's exactly the right kind of balance. It was just a bit brighter than the G2, but it's still kind of has the control that I like. So yeah, there we go, skins.
Awesome. Finally, the hardware on your kit, what are you using here?
It's mostly Gibraltar. I actually replaced it all a little while ago. When I got the new SJC kit, I thought, new kit, new hardware. So it's mostly Gibraltar. I didn't go for the top of the range stuff because I'm not an extremely hard hitter. I don't use boom stands, so I don't get too much problems with wobble, so I didn't need stuff that weighed 1,000 tons. This hi-hat stand I love, and I want to get one for the States as well. It's the 6000 series, I think. Yeah, the proper cymbal stands is all 6000 Gibraltars, except this thing. Gibraltar, I think the reason I ended up with Gibraltar is they're the only people who I can find that make a double tom stand that you can also mount 2 cymbal stands off. Yes. The pedal is a Pearl P2002. I tried out really expensive ones and cheaper ones. This is kind of mid-range, not as expensive as the DW9000 and more expensive than your Grand second-hand pedal, if your Grand has one of those.